you're saying you're our daughter?
From the future. Yep, kind of stuck here now. Anybody know what to do? I made a big mistake.
This man is hiding in the shadows.
You guys beat him. At least you were supposed to.
Because the timeline changed. I need to know, in the future, what happens to me.
The Flash. All new episodes Tuesday, October 9th on the CW.
Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. So The Flash is back in 1 week and 1 day from now, which is hype as hell, as you'd expect. So I'm sure all of us are super excited for that, or at least most of us, hopefully. Now, I played that trailer just then that is actually a few weeks old, as it seems that content or stuff in that trailer actually belongs to episode 2 of this season, when it was believed that all of that was just, for episode 1 stuff. And in this video, we will be going over the synopsis or description for episode 2 of this season of The Flash, which is called Blocked. And we will also go over a couple of other things as well. But of course, do let me know in the comments section down below what caught your eye most from the stuff that's either in the trailer or the stuff that we go over in this video. But let's go over the synopsis first and then go over the points in the trailer I played earlier that are relevant to this episode, as well as what is highlighted in the synopsis. But yeah, as I said, this is for the episode entitled Blocked. As Barry helps his daughter, Nora, become a better speedster, he and Team Flash also track down a meta stealing high-tech weapons, only to cross paths with a new foe named Cicada who is hunting the very same meta with nefarious intent. So even though this was, short and sweet, it's a nice short and sweet synopsis, which we're sort of used to, at least in like the opening episodes and like the ending episodes of a season, there actually is a decent topic to go over, which will be something that we should see a lot of for at least, most of the opening half of this season. But something that could stretch onwards throughout the season of Cicada is who we get until the end of the season. But let's go over all that this synopsis does cover. But if you haven't yet and you want to show your support, it would be awesome and greatly appreciated if you could drop a like on the video, especially seeing we have The Flash returning in just over 1 week from now. So the synopsis starts off with, as Barry helps his daughter Nora become a better speedster. Now, I did do a video yesterday on a 20-odd minute interview with Jessica Parker Kennedy, who plays Nora Allen, which she does briefly go over the fact that Nora still seems to be like in the infancy stage of being a hero, if that's what you want to call it. Not necessarily being a speedster. So, she's been a speedster for a while. She probably has a good grip on her powers. But just in regards to using her powers to go around and save people and protect people. Because obviously they might come across as the same thing to some people, and that there is no real difference. But when it comes down to it, there are some finer details that are needed to get a decent grip on before you go running around grabbing people and potentially giving them whiplash, as well as just knowing how to deal with certain scenarios such as burning buildings, falling debris, and other things to provide, a few examples. So we have already seen Barry mentor both Wally and Jesse Quick in, season 3. Both of them got mentored by Barry. However, they were not really given that much of a focus, as they weren't central to the plot, for what was going on at that certain point in the season. However, Barry's relationship with Nora will be a central focus. So the mentoring of Nora by Barry will therefore become a focus. And you would also expect Barry to treat Nora a bit differently than he did Wally and Jesse, just due to the fact that, it's his daughter, or she is his daughter. Now, one other thing just to bring up, I'm not sure if this is legitimate or not. I just saw this being talked about around a week or so ago on social media, and that has to do with Nora being faster than Barry. And Barry is already, as the show does state, the fastest man alive. Now, as I said, not sure if this is real or not. Let me know if it was, said anyway. If you want to link it or just tell me, that'd be greatly appreciated. But I really couldn't find anything. But if Nora is actually faster than Barry, you would have to think that comes down to her naturally being a speedster. And by that, I mean she wasn't affected by dark matter or anything along those lines in order to get access to the Speed Force and to get her abilities. She got her powers through Barry passing down the meta gene through to her. So due to that, maybe as she developed, her power just became more powerful or something like that. Let me know what you think of that in the comments, as that, for me at least, it's the most logical reasoning if she is in fact faster than Barry. But Jessica Parker Kennedy did say that they would explain why Nora has both the purple and yellow lightning in her speedster trail. So that could be a connection to her increased powers. And before anyone comments, they did tease a few months back that Iris having the purple lightning has nothing to do with Nora having the purple lightning, and that is connected to something else. So I think that was about half the fandom thought that was the case, and half thought it was oh, maybe that's the Speed Force, because if you go back to the Enter Flash Time episode with all the Speed Force lightning coming down, it is yellow and purple. Those are the main colors that come shooting down. So a lot of people just thought maybe it's connected to that, which it could be. Maybe that means that Nora has the most pure connection to the Speed Force out of any of the speedsters, which would be interesting and I guess would make sense in regards to why her, lightning trail is both purple and yellow. But anyway, the next part of the synopsis is, he and Team Flash also track down a meta stealing high-tech weapons. So in regards to who this meta is and why they're stealing high-tech weapons, I really couldn't care less. But one thing that people are still wondering about, and something that hasn't really even been hinted at in the trailers at least, even though last season may have given us a hint to it, and that is the source for the new metas this season. So in past seasons, the source for the new metas has been the Particle Accelerator, Earth 2, Dr. Alchemy, and of course the bus. But what will it be this season? Well, the hot pick and the one I was saying since the finale for last season is that of the satellite incident. As we know, that satellite that DeVoe had come crashing down to Central City had dark matter in it. And it did crash around Central City in various places. Not just where Team Flash was saving people. It crashed elsewhere in the city as well. So who knows how that dark matter laced debris could have affected people? So you would have to think that that's the top pick in regards to that, but who knows what they will make the source for this season. It could be anything. If you do have any other suggestions or theories, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And then finally we finish off the synopsis with, only to cross paths with a new foe named Cicada, who is hunting the very same meta with nefarious intent. So this will be the episode in which we get to see Barry take on Cicada for the first time alongside his daughter, which could actually be what we are seeing here in this promo image that was released a few weeks back, which, like some stuff that we saw in that trailer from earlier on, was believed to have been from episode 1, but about a week after, maybe a few days, but at least around a week after it came out, it was corrected to have been a promo image for episode 2. You can see that Nora has some meta dampener cuffs in her hand, so it will be interesting to see if they are, of any use, or if they don't have an effect on Cicada at all, if that is who they're facing right here. But in that trailer, we do get a few decent looks at Cicada in his hideout and holding that lightning bolt dagger, which could be from episode 2. There is that shot of him standing behind Joe as well, but I think we are certain that that is from episode 1, as it seems to be after the party from the end of last season and then the first episode of this season. From what it sounds like, it just seems that we most likely won't see Cicada's face in episode 1. He'll still be there, we just won't see who's behind the mask. He will just be there with the mask on, and then maybe after we see him with Joe, maybe he'll murder another meta in this episode. Maybe the meta that we deal with in episode 1, which is Gridlock. But then it's in episode 2 where we will start to learn more about the man behind the mask and maybe his backstory and why he's doing what he is doing. But as that synopsis snippet does point out, Cicada is going after that same meta that Team Flash is going after, who was stealing high-tech weapons. But obviously Cicada is not going after him in order to help Team Flash and return those weapons to their rightful owner. No, of course not. He is looking to absolutely murder and slaughter that meta. We know that Cicada is essentially going to be ridding the, in his eyes at least, filth of Central City, that of course being the metas. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm looking forward to Cicada as a villain. He isn't trying to do some over-the-top elaborate plan that involves the Flash's Speed Force energy to create a weapon that restarts everyone's brain so that the timeline is reset so that, that someone can return to the future so that all Earths are destroyed apart from one of them. He essentially just wants some revenge, and I guess you could say justice for what has happened to him due to the presence and the effect that metas have had on his city. It obviously looks like his family has died, whether it be at the hands of a metahuman directly or just from an incident caused by a metahuman, that metahuman possibly being the Flash and, maybe Nora as well. They have said he is going to be more of a blue-collar villain, which in my eyes at least means he will just be doing a lot of the dirty work himself, and it's just very hands-on. So he is the one going around killing people with his dagger and drawing out their powers. And it does seem that Barry and Nora will be, maybe getting a first-hand look at his trade in this episode. Obviously, one question that will be brought up a lot in the first half of this season, especially if Cicada's story moves along fairly quickly, is whether we will get something similar to Arrow from last season, where we had Caden James for the first dozen episodes roughly, and then he is killed off and we got the real big bad of Ricardo Diaz take over. Could we see that with the Flash this season? And of course that is a possibility, but we could get a hint of that I think a few episodes before that would actually happen. The only villain I think they could bring in all of a sudden without a tease or any form of suggestion and make them the new big bad would be the Reverse Flash. And I don't know whether it would be the smart move to make him the big bad for, the amount of episodes left in this season. But then again, when you really think about it, he didn't feature that much in season 1 until really towards the end. And then he was sprinkled in throughout the rest of the season. So if they just went hard out after he is reintroduced, then I guess that could work pretty well. But I personally think that Cicada will be the villain for the whole season. I think that is what the showrunners want to do, seeing there are some other major storylines going on as well. And I think I would want Reverse Flash coming back as a villain for a whole season later on, maybe like maybe season 6 or 7, and play it off as like an origin story, and we learn, you know, more about the backstory to what happened in season 1. It's almost like a prequel to season 1. I think that'd be the best way to do like the reintroduction of Reverse Flash as like a main villain. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it would show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, it would be awesome if you could subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.